What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, invading Columbus, Ohio for Sonic Temple Fest. And today we are here with Boston Manor, all the way from Blackpool, England.
Yes, sir. How
What's
you doing?
going on?
Yeah, Blackpool, England. I mean, there's got to be a metal scene there, right? Just with the name in itself.
There was a metal scene, and we were it. And
Yeah, me and our drummer Jord, we played in a metalcore band. It was cool, man. We just played like weird pubs, and like it was that time where I think like just the bills were just everything and anything, wasn't it? Like we were playing with like indie bands and like emo bands. It didn't really matter.
acoustic guys. There'd be like a death metal band, and then some guy with his guitar would get up next, and it was like you're in a band, cool, you get to play the gig kind of thing. But
You mentioned metalcore too. It seems like Britain has been like now lately with bands like While She Sleeps, Bury Tomorrow, Architects. There's so many great metalcore bands coming out of like United Kingdom.
yeah, for sure, man. I think there's always been a pretty rich history of metal in the UK, and it's one of those things that has always been fairly consistent. I think, you know, like you got bands now like Employed to Serve as well, which is a UK band.
Oh my God, how amazing is that album?
Incredible record,
Very, very good.
amazing band. Shout out Employed to Serve, you guys are fucking awesome.
Please get your ass to the States.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, the UK's always been like, I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's never really wavered. We've always had good metal bands kind of doing the circuits in the UK.
Also, side note, Cancer Bats are playing a show in Blackpool.
Are they really?
Yep.
No fucking way, when?
Apparently,
Is it announced?
in summer sometime? Matt Ash was telling us.
That's
He was like, "Yo, like these guys will appreciate," because like no one plays Blackpool anymore. Like it's kind of a dying thing right now.
It's like a C market, and we have an enormous venue that like the 1975 played recently. We've had like Bonnie Bear, but it comes through. There's like one big gig a year as like a weird market for that band to play. But that venue's about 2,500 capacity, so there's no venue below that really. So for us to get club shows is super rare.
Insane. That's incredible. You guys just normally I save the scene questions for last, but got that out of the way.
Yeah.
But your latest record is Welcome to the Neighborhood. Came out in 2018. How has the record cycle been thus far with it and the making of it and everything else? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, sure, I can. It's been sick, honestly, man. Like, I feel like we're still like right in the middle of it, even though we're definitely like as a band looking quite far ahead. I feel.
We know what we're doing moving
Yeah.
forward, but it's been amazing. Like we took some kind of big jumps sonically on it and a bit of a risk, but fortunately, people have been very open-minded and been very trusting of us, and it's been great. The response has been insane. We're enjoying playing the songs a lot live, you know, and particularly America. You know, I feel like it's kind of. You can do the safe bet thing quite comfortably in like the US touring world, you know. If you kind of want to go out on your own and do something that's a little bit different, it either fucking goes really well or it can go really bad. But people were very open-minded with us and gave us a chance, and at festivals like this particularly, so we feel very blessed for sure.
Do you guys try to maintain a certain sound with like each song, or do you consider yourselves more of an experimental band and like to incorporate many different elements with Boston Manor?
I think we're getting there with the latter now. We're starting to get to the point where we can, within reason, kind of do what we want, and our philosophy's always been we would rather push the boat out too far and then bring it in, rather than stay in too much of a safe circle and not push the boundaries too much, you know. I feel like it's easier to pull yourself back into line with what you are as a band, rather than not take any risks at all and just do the safe thing. So I think I would never say we're an experimental band, but I think we're starting to be more experimental within our sound, and it's fun, you know. It's we like doing it.
Awesome. Do you guys like to have a certain message behind your music, or like try to maybe inform the listener on a certain issue, or do you like to leave your music maybe open to interpretation?
I think, to be honest, it's way more important to just leave it to interpretation. Like, we could write a song that's literally about something very, very specific, but I think if the lyrics and the vibe is definitely a little bit more ambiguous, people can apply their own thing to it. They can like apply whatever they're going through at the time to whatever that song is right now, you know?
I mean, to Ash's point, like, Welcome to the Neighborhood's a really angry record, but if I'm there just telling you what you should be angry about, then that's cool, but I like the idea that you can apply your own issues or use it as a form of catharsis for whatever's going on in your life, and use it as a vehicle to kind of vent your anger through, you know? Like, if I'm like, yeah, this is about Brexit. No songs on our record are about Brexit, by the way, but if, just using that as an example, or politics, or whatever else, then if that doesn't apply to you, then you kind of feel like that song isn't written for you. Whereas if you leave it open-ended, it could be a song about politics, but you could just be really fucking pissed at your scumbag stepdad, and you want to vent about that, you know?
I know people who love Rage Against the Machine and don't agree with anything politically that Zach is saying, but just Killing in the Name, that song makes you want to kill someone.
Straight up, and I think that's important, man. Like, my only goal as a songwriter is to get you to feel something, but it's your relationship with music is a very personal thing, you know? So the songs that growing up I attributed to this one thing that applied to me, and I thought that's what the song was about. And then later down the line, I found out that it was about something completely different, but I still consider it to be about the thing that I connected with it, you know?
Definitely. Now, when you're playing live, do you try to execute your material as close to it sounds like on the album live, or do you like to maybe bring something that maybe somebody listening to you guys wouldn't necessarily experience unless they're seeing you live?
I don't know, like, we just, the only thing we want to do live is just give literally as much as we can to the crowd. Like, we're all about energy, and I think if that just means that, I don't know, like, I guess, like, if some of the parts need screaming or, like, just feel like they should be heavier, then we make them heavier live, you know?
We definitely adapt.
Yeah. It's cooler that way, I think. It makes it more special for the person seeing as well, so.
Yeah. And, you know, playing at a festival versus, like, playing in a club, that has to completely take a new approach to the live presence as well, right?
I mean, without trying to be too big-headed, we pride ourselves on being a band that can cater to any environment. So we could play your basement and put on a good show, or we could, you know, last year we did main stage at Download Festival, you know. So our thing is that we want to be able to play as many different rooms as possible. We don't have in-ears, we don't use Kempers. We can just plug in our guitars and play, and that's kind of what we always want to do. But, like, I find it fun, man. Like, I like applying the big stage mindset to a club show, and on the same level I like applying the crazy stage diving club show mindset to a festival show. I think it's fun, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So before we go, I'd like to thank you guys so much for your time. Is there just anything else with Boston Manor you'd like to promote in terms of new music or tours, if you're allowed to say?
Well, yeah, there's a bunch we aren't allowed to say, but we are about to go on tour with A Day to Remember and Not Loose in the US, which starts in literally 2 weeks, I think. We go home for about a week, and then we're back in America. So if you're coming to one of those shows, we'll see you there. Otherwise, we have a lot of shit that is happening that we can't talk about, but just keep your eyes peeled, man, and thank you for supporting our band, and hopefully we'll see you at a show this year.
You'll tell me about all those things when I turn the camera
on.
on.
Yeah, I'll give you the scoop.
For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Everybody,
man.
We are here with Boston Manor. Welcome to the neighborhood. Pick it up if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We will see you next time.